What are Kontrol Freeks, what do they do, and can they help you in Halo? What up everybody, it's BBKDRAGOON. Now I gotta start this by saying I am not sponsored or affiliated with Kontrol Freek in any way. I like their product though, and I've been using it on my controllers for 5 years now for a reason. Now I've been running the FPS Kontrol Freek, like I said, all the way back since Halo Reach. What is the product? Well, it's a little small thumbstick raiser. It snaps onto your controller thumbstick and it raises it up about ½ an inch. Over on Kontrol Freek's website, they've got a bunch of different kinds of thumbsticks, different heights, different concaves, different textures. For me, I've been running the FPS Kontrol Freek in that line of control thumbstick family for 5 years. And they have obviously different products within there, but for the most part, if you're in the FPS Kontrol Freek line, you're raising the stick up about ½ an inch. What that does is it takes your joystick, which is a lever, and gives you a taller version of that, so you get extra leverage. The two benefits is less friction and easier with finesse aiming, small movements. So the less friction part comes in here. The dead zone portion of your controller, that's when you're just barely starting to apply an input and the controller is just starting to read that. That initial spot is kind of hard to find. How much tension does it take to just barely move the stick to the left and to the right and have the game actually count it as an input? With that extra leverage of a Kontrol Freek, it's easier to begin that process of small finesse left and right movements. It's much easier to ignore the dead zone and just move the controller slightly left and slightly to the right. In that same vein, the second big benefit is you have a larger cone of movement available to your thumb for more finesse aiming. And this is very helpful for high sensitivity players. Those high sensitivity players, when they need to make very small corrections on a normal controller, it's hard to just move the stick a little bit to the left. Well, that Kontrol Freek is going to make it a lot easier to move it just slightly to the left or to the right. Is this a product that's going to make you better overnight? Absolutely not. It's going to take time to practice with the stick and get used to it. And it may not suit everybody, but I have found for myself, it is a lot easier to do small finesse aiming and maybe run a sensitivity one notch higher than I normally would if I was just using a basic default controller. I only use the stick on the right stick. I see no reason to throw it onto my left stick, especially in Halo where you need to snap left and right super fast on the edges so you can strafe at the maximum possible speed. A few things about the product: there's $17 here in the United States on Amazon right now, so if you're somebody who's like, I don't know if I want to try this, it's not a lot of money, and if you don't like it, you're only out about $15. The other thing I will mention is the textured grip on the top is much better than the default Xbox controller, and it allows you to use your controller a little bit longer, since all you have to do is when that stick wears out, your Kontrol Freek runs out of that sticky juice. It's just getting that feeling of an old controller. You can pick up a new stick. The packages come with 2, so you get $17, you have 2 sticks, and they last me usually about 4 or 5 months worth of play, depending on like how heavily you're playing. If you're doing like daily 2 hours, maybe they wear out a little bit faster. But I've loved this product, man, and I encourage anybody to give it a try. They give you extra leverage, and they make those finesse movements a lot easier. Have any of you tried them out? If so, let me know your thoughts down in the description below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, hit that subscribe button. More tips are on the way. Thanks, guys. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.